Hello. You are tuning into the episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, first takes Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith both agree that Josh Allen is the better quarterback and the most trustworthy quarterback over Lamar Jackson. Look, guys, you know what I love about this? And y'all already know they start early. Is that all I always hear is that, well, Josh Allen defense didn't help him out enough. Joe Burrow's offensive line didn't help him out enough. His weapons let him down. You don't hear those stuff at Lamar. You don't. And now they're doubling down. Stephen A. Smith even said that Lamar Jackson won three MVPs. So he has no excuses. Yes, he actually says it in this video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio and the video and then we're going to break it down, all right? And before I even get started, please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you like more content like that, join us. You know what I'm saying? We got more than one channel. We got two channels, The Wunderkind Show and The Wunderkind Morning Show, that you can get your information and love from, all right? So, guys, without further ado, let's go see what these two knuckleheads have to say about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens now. Here we go.
Welcome back to First Take. The NFL offseason underway as teams begin OTAs today. Among those teams are the AFC Championship runner-up, the Bills, and AFC contender Ravens. Both teams face off for a divisional round rematch Week 1 in Buffalo. As we take a look at the Super Bowl odds from ESPN Bet Sportsbook, Baltimore has the third shortest odds at plus 650, while Buffalo sits right behind them with the fourth shortest odds at plus 700. Paging Ryan Clark. RC, will this be the year Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen get to the Super Bowl?
Obviously, I think the thing that's been standing in their way is Patrick Mahomes. And you're asking about two quarterbacks who's never been there when Joe Burrow has. But I do believe...
I have a question. How is that even the question? Like, why do they keep bringing up... And this bothers me, right? It's like, well, Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. And y'all keep saying that's not the reason why. That's why I go at Joe Burrow or hold him accountable. And I know Kenyatta and other ones. I know you guys are Burrow fans, and I'm not hating. What I'm saying is I'm speaking the facts, right? The only time the Bengals have made the playoffs is when Lamar Jackson has been hurt. All of the years Lamar Jackson has been healthy, they don't even make the playoffs. They don't even make the playoffs. Then on top of it, they hold down and say, hey, Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl, but we don't look at him as a top 10 guy, certain stuff like that. But they constantly bring up the reason why they support Joe Burrow because he's played in a Super Bowl. That's why he can be mentioned with Lamar and Josh Allen, because he's played in a Super Bowl and they haven't. So if that's the case, then Jalen Hurts should be the second best quarterback in the league, right? By those metrics. But I'll continue. I'm not going to let them ruin my happiness. Let's continue.
This is the year that one of those players gets to a Super Bowl. And if I'm being honest, I have more trust in Josh Allen.
Of course,
the reason I have more trust in Josh Allen is because I've seen him perform on the biggest stages, whether it's the AFC Championship, the divisional round in the playoffs. Standing across from Patrick Mahomes, there was no difference in the way that those two quarterbacks led their team. Think back to last year on the Trent McDuffie fourth down blitz. Josh Allen gives Dalton Kincaid an opportunity to win that game. And so for me, Lamar...
Hold on. Just hold on. So you're saying that Josh Allen has played pretty much flawlessly and it's been his teammates and team that's let him down? That's why he hasn't got a title? Is that what he's saying right now? Is that what he's saying? Josh Allen's played up the parts. Everyone else has not played good. So the miss, Stephon Diggs had to go climb the ladder. If we're going to talk about perfection and everything else, well, they hit him in his hands. Isn't that the same thing that happened with Mark Andrews? And all I heard was still Lamar's fault. But we'll continue.
Jackson has nothing to prove to me in the regular season. Nothing to say to me or prove to me about being...
Hold up. You already just said there? We're going to play
Lamar Jackson has nothing to prove to me in the regular season. Nothing to say to me or prove to me about being one of the greatest quarterbacks of this era.
Yo, I have a question. Now I'm going to stop it right there again. So, during the regular season, every time the Ravens lose, watch Ryan Clark be like, oh, well, you know, it's looking like Lamar can't lead them That's what he's gonna say. I'm telling you. You see how the narratives, you see how they do narratives? He has nothing else to prove during the regular season. You were the one saying that he still had problems throwing and decision making versus Steelers. You were the one leading the charge. You were. Yo, I can't with these guys, but let's continue.
But he has to perform in the playoffs. And when you look at the way that both of these teams are constructed, they are built to win. But the quarterback that I trust most out of those two in the playoffs is Josh Allen.
Stephen A?
Well, I completely agree. Josh Allen is the one to trust because we've looked at, and as I've said on many occasions, whether it's RC here, it's Swagoo, it's Cam Newton, I said, don't let it be you. Don't let it be you. That's the attitude. And so when the Buffalo Bills have shown up in the playoffs, it's rare in the day that we've looked at Josh Allen and said he was the reason they didn't get over the hump. He was the reason they didn't get it done. There's been a few occasions where we've looked at Lamar Jackson and he's come up short. I don't think there's
You see why I don't like this? This is the same guy that holds, mind you, the one playoff game that I hold Lamar accountable for is the one against the Chiefs. It's the only one. He's the one that holds the rookie game versus the Chargers against him. That's one of the games he's talking about. When Josh Allen wasn't making the playoffs, Lamar Jackson was. Oh, look how they shut him down. They didn't win. You're not a winner. They figured him out. He was the one with this is what I'm talking about, rhetoric. Sticking with the rhetoric all the way through. It's absolutely asinine. They're foolish, but whatever.
There's more pressure on anybody, more so than him, out of the AFC when you consider the personnel that's there and what they've been able to accomplish. Patrick Mahomes is highly motivated because when you get stomped in the Super Bowl the way that they did by the Philadelphia Eagles, certainly there's a lot of amends to be made. Patrick Mahomes has to play better. Travis Kelce has to play better. Andy Reid has to coach better because he didn't seem to have them prepared for the Super Bowl. And I don't know if there's any time in the career of Andy Reid where we've been able to look at him and say that about him. But after they got romped in the Super Bowl by the Eagles the way that they did, we have no choice but to look at it that way. Joe Burrow has been to a Super Bowl, and he's beaten Patrick Mahomes to get there. We've seen Josh Allen go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes and come up short, but primarily because of a defense that couldn't stop him, specifically with 13 seconds left in the regulation, for crying out loud, and they managed to ultimately get a victory in that game. We've seen Lamar Jackson come up short, and he's a three-time league MVP.
It's nice that he's saying he's a three-time league MVP. So he's not counting the one against that Josh won. He's and you see how quickly he said, oh, because his defense didn't get it done. Mind you, it's your job to milk off the clock, Josh Allen and company, right? That's your job. You see what I'm saying? What happened with Zay Flowers? Did he not fumble at the goal line in that game? They don't remember that. What happened with Mark Andrews? Did he not drop the pass and fumble when they were driving? They don't remember that. This is my problem. Matter of fact, I don't want to hear no more from them. This is why I have a problem with them. I really do, because you see how all of the excuses that get made for Josh Allen. You see the excuses that are made for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has not been in the playoffs for 2 seasons. All he gets is, well, he went to a Super Bowl. So what? He went to a Super Bowl. That's all that matters. He went to a Super Bowl. What about Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts is different. It's different. How? Explain it. I'm not lacking context in my statement. It seems like you're lacking some in yours, but you make yours much louder than I make mine. It doesn't make, listen, let me tell you something right now. Has Lamar been perfect? No. I'll be the first one to tell you, no. But a lot of the mistakes that are made are because of the teammates around him failing him and Lamar trying to make something out of nothing. And a lot of people say, well, don't make nothing out of nothing. How do we score? Look at the last drive to Likely when we almost tied it up versus the Bills, right? Look what Lamar did just on that drive to keep the drive alive. That's what's expected of Lamar from the opening snap to the end of the snap. You notice how Josh Allen don't got to do nothing like that? Here you go. Handoff, little pop passes, guys pick it up. He will take 2, maybe 3 shots. That's it. It's not what's expected of Lamar. Lamar is, hey, the run game's not working, you got to run the ball. If your own line's not blocking, you got to dip, dive, duck, and dodge. If your guys ain't catching it and dropping it, you go make the play. It's ridiculous. And it's been proven because, once again, Mark Andrews fumbled while they were driving, right? In the middle of the field, and they were like on their 40, on the opponent's 40, driving to score, and then he fumbles the ball. And if you watch the replay, the man didn't even punch the ball. He punched Mark's side, and Mark just flipped the ball out. Then Mark tried to take out Isaiah Likely on a touchdown where he slid to for it, right? What Lamar had to do to get that touchdown. Then he dropped the two-point conversion, and it's like, hey, who cares? You know what I was saying? Lamar came up short. It's not the Ravens came up short. It's not a team game when they win. Right? I mean, when they lose. When they win, it's a team game. When they win, it's all the Ravens. They have so many guys. John Harbaugh's the best coach. Derrick Henry. All these guys. When they lose, that's Lamar. Lamar. And then you look at them and you say, what about this? Oh, I don't care about that. And Stephen A. said that. He said, I don't care about all of that. He's a 2-time MVP, 3-time All-Pro. He should make it work. So what about Joe Burrow that you say is better than him? Joe Burrow's not a 2-time MVP. What's that got to do with it? You say he's better than him, though. Josh Allen's MVP, but Lamar got one MVP over it. That's how they think. It's a foolish mindset. It's narrative-based content, and all they're doing is feeding into that machine of trying to churn out views. And I know there's going to be a lot of it this year. And I'm telling you this right now, everyone's saying, and I know people are going to come in this video and be like, it's going to be like that till Lamar wins one. No, it's not. It's going to be like that after Lamar wins one. This won't stop until Lamar wins at least 2. Let me tell you what's going to happen. When Lamar wins his first, they're going to say, oh, well, we already know what he could do. We knew we had the personnel to get it done. It was up to him to get it done. But if I'm going to say it, I think Josh Allen is still a better player. And they're going to say, well, who has more, who has more pressure to win this year? I'm going to say Lamar. Because he won one, he has to prove that he could do it again. That's how they're going to pick. You're going to be able to bookmark this and go back and be like, wow, Nitro really called. Because that's the only place they can go. Because they have to drum up this narrative. After Lamar Jackson and Baltimore win their first title, they're going to say, who's under more pressure to win a title this year? Which player? They're going to say, I think it's Lamar Jackson. Watch you like, hear me out. I know he got one. But Dawn, you're an multiple-time MVP. You're a 3-time All-Pro. You should be getting more than one. And you right now are in combats with Patrick Mahomes. So the pressure to win is on him more than them, even though he's won it. I'm dead serious. You're going to see him be like, winning one does not change anything for them. Lamar Jackson will have to win 2 or more for them to stop the foolishness. And then they'll act like they never said the things that they were saying before Lamar and the Ravens won one. And you notice how it's never nobody's fault but Lamar's? That's the only name that comes up. But when they win, oh, they got so much. John Harbaugh, such an amazing coach. EDC top 2 GM. It's magical, I say. Magical. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But what do you guys think? Do you agree that Josh Allen's a more trustworthy quarterback than Lamar Jackson? Or do you believe that Lamar Jackson team has let him down a plethora of times and it's up to them to get better and then we'll win? Let me know what you think down in the comments, please, all right? But as always, that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. Again, now we get down, we have fun, and we laugh. But everything we talk about, we do what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment, guys. You know I love the comments. If you haven't already done so, check out the Wunderkind Morning Show live Monday through Thursdays. Today we weren't live because I had to do the pantry run down the Midwest in Fort Myers for my church. We did not get back home until 11:30. So, yeah, that's the reason it wasn't live today. But usually it's live Monday to Thursdays, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. And we don't really miss days. I'm telling you this right now. This is an emergency or something like that. Okay? And we touch on all hot topics in sports. And at the end of every show, we have a little bit of nostalgia trivia where we talk on from the 70s, 89s, early 2000s, put a smile on your face, guys. So go out there and support that channel, okay? Also, if you'd like to donate to the channel, help out with equipment, stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR codes to a Cash App. Cash will located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is money sign, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But that's episode of The Wunderkind Show. This show is Nigel signing off, and as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yerp!
Finish him, Daddy.